Do you ever feel like something's stopping you from approaching the things that are important to you, accomplishing the goals that you know you truly want to experience? Well, in today's conversation, I'm going to have you deeply understand and understand something that I have taken the time to deeply understand for myself. The difference between truth and beliefs. And this important conversation is happening at this perfect time because before you can create anything, before you can build that business, have the audacity to get paid to exist, there is a truth that you get to accept, that you get to internalize, that you get to operate in honor of, that will support you as you step into a brand new realm. Now, the reason I picked this topic for our conversation today is because I have been studying, I have been getting mentored, I have been getting the tools and the tips in order to serve you better. And so I asked the question today, and that question was, what is the one thing that you are struggling with in terms of getting paid to exist? That was the gist of the question. And I asked this question because I am clear that I love to talk. There are topics that I love to talk about. More importantly, I am clear that there are things that you need that I may not be aware of. And so, in order to honor you, I asked that question on multiple platforms in multiple spaces. And one of the core answers was belief and self belief. And so, I wanted to start here because, in my opinion, that is the foundation of everything. Everything that you want to experience and have in your life starts with belief. However, we are, in my opinion, not really clear on what belief is. We believe things because we think they're true. And we think they're true because we believe them. But before there is belief, there is truth, there is fact. And so when it comes to you going after your dreams and after something that you truly desire, such as getting paid to exist, but the deeper core thing in getting paid to exist is being seen and appreciated and recognized for who you are without having to get the bells and the whistles, without having to wear the three-piece suit, without having to do the 9-page business plan. Within all of us, me, you, my parents, the people I love, people I don't know, there is an innate desire to be accepted for who you are and how you be and the way you show up and the way you were designed. And in order for that to happen in the human realm where we are being with other human beings, what is extremely necessary is a grounded understanding of truth. And the truth is that you, me, and everyone we know, we were created in the image of God. We were created to create things. We were created to maximize, to innovate what God has created, using the material that God has provided and innovating it, learning from it, making it bigger and better. That is what we were created for. But between the stage of being created and now today, where you are wanting to develop something, get paid to exist, go after your dreams, let go of everything matrix related, between that beginning stage and where you are now was a whole lot of conditioning, a whole lot of conversation, a whole lot of opinions about you and how you be. And most importantly, I'm sure you've heard this, you being too much blank, whatever word came after that. Maybe you were too intense. I've had that label. Maybe you were too fat, too tall, too ugly, too dark, too loud, too bold, too audacious, too opinionated, too talkative. You see, we, me, you, and everyone we know, has all experienced that. The thing about that, though, and there are wins I'll say pros. There's pros and cons to the too much conversation. The first con is you now measuring yourself based on the too much conversation. You making that whatever was said after too much about you, making that mean more than the truth about you. The truth being that you are perfect, whole, and complete as you are because you were created in the image of God. The moment that you put that earthly experience, that commentary on top of that, you then blur the truth. And this is why differentiating between belief and truth is so important. Because we have that con, but then there's also this pro, a very important pro about being too much blank. For me, I was too opinionated, too talkative, too fat. Those are the three things that I heard most in my life. The beautiful thing about each one of those situations, each one of those comments is this. Me being too fat, which is something I heard from my family, from kids on the playground, from men that I liked, well, boys that I liked. The pro about that is it gave me the opportunity to sit on the sidelines and observe. I observed people a lot growing up, and I still do. And it taught me so much about human psychology and how humans behave, how humans make choices, how humans treat other people when they think they can't get anything from them. It taught me so much about why people decide to put their dreams on the back burner and go to a job every day. Because I was too fat, I didn't get to play all the sports. I didn't always get picked for the team. There was always some second guessing that allowed me to sit on the sidelines and observe. And now as an adult, that observation is extremely helpful in my way of being. It's extremely helpful in my relationships. I observe my man, I observe my daughter, I observe my mom. One thing I love to do is observe my clients. I've talked about this before. I will literally go and stalk you because I want to observe how you be so that I can support you. So something that could have been a con, that could have been the thing that stopped me from going after my dreams, I have found the strength in that because it forced me for years of my life to develop a level of self-confidence that doesn't come naturally. I had to develop it in order to survive. And now it is a gift of mine in terms of my thriving. I literally teach other people how to be confident, how to trust themselves, how to go after what they want. How can I do this so well? Because I went through an entire life of experiencing people tell me that I was too much of something, especially my weight, to do, to be, to have the things that I dreamt of. And I live my life having those things regardless of their commentary. And so I'm sharing this for a very important reason, because the thing that you have heard that you're too much of is not only a con. Yes, it was a con at some point of your life, but you have the power now to choose to make it a pro. How can I win based on that experience that I've gained because of that con? Second one, you're too talkative. I literally have a report card where one of my principals wrote in my report card and said, she's too talkative, encourage her to talk less. And she also thinks she knows everything. So that's the third one, too opinionated. So guess what? I didn't talk so much. I learned how to listen. I learned how to listen for what people aren't actually saying. Some people use words, but they're not actually using the words that accurately describe what they're feeling, what they're thinking, what's actually going on over there. And so because I was told I'm too talkative, I learned how to listen and listen for things that people are not saying. And guess where that is extremely helpful? In every single relationship I have ever been in. I'm going to touch back on the whole too fat thing because I have been with people, men, who are like, you're not usually my type and I don't know how this is going to go. And I don't stop being myself. I don't go lose 1,000 pounds and then come back and be like, you ready for me now? I show up as Sarah and never intimidated me. Ever. Down to the man that I have a child with, I heard that from him as well. But the thing that I recognize is that me being me transforms the person in my energy, in my proximity. Because the whole thought process of having a specific type is just more conditioning. You can only be with these type of people, or only these type of people are attractive. That is conditioning. And so when you are around me and you experience me and the confidence and the boldness that I have, that shatters all of that low vibrational thought process. And I've seen it happen multiple times. So the whole, you're too fat, you're too talkative, you're too opinionated, yeah, there's the con side of that. Being teased may feel like a con. Being told that you can't accomplish certain things can feel like a con. Being made to feel that you are not good enough can feel like a con. But how long are you going to attach yourself to the con when you can simply reframe that, utilizing the truth of who you are? This is where we started the conversation. To make it a con, to make it a pro, to turn that con into a pro. I could literally still be living my life thinking boys don't like me because I'm too fat, or I can't speak my mind because I'm too talkative, or whenever I say anything, I'm too opinionated and I'm too intense. So let me keep that stuff to myself. If I did that, one, my man would not be the man that he's becoming because I literally required certain things when it comes to personal development from him in order to be in a relationship with me. So he wins. He becomes a better man because of my intensity, because of my opinionated character, because of how I show up in the physical realm. He has had to deal with his own stuff around that, and that makes him a better man, open to more possibilities, growing in ways that he probably didn't even fathom for himself, or maybe he wanted and didn't know how it was going to happen. So there is an opportunity for you to identify where you have been told you're too much of whatever it is that came in the word after that, and then say, how can I make this a pro? Because you've already done it. When you take a moment to look at your life, okay, I wasn't invited to play all the sports, so what did I do instead? Okay. I was told I was too intense, so what did I do instead? What did I use that time to do? Your gifts are already built in. And you will only recognize that when you appreciate the truth of who you are, which is different from who you believe that you are. Again, you believe something because you think it's true, and you think it's true because you believe it. But the only truth, most important truth, is that you were created in the image of God. You were created to create things. You were created to create. And when you can get back to that original truth, you'll recognize that a lot of the things that you believe about yourself, they're not helpful and they are not truth. You're too fat to date these kind of guys. Okay, so why was I always with an athlete? Why was I always with an athlete? I was always with the fine boy. Why is that? Because I knew, because of my growing up and how much time I spent observing people, that people are attracted to how you look, but people are truly, truly engaging with you for who you be. And I'm a dope ass person. The type of conversation you have in my environment, you don't have nowhere else. And that is what the men who look good that I ended up being with, they love those types of conversations. They love that cerebral turn on. So I didn't care what the commentary was. I know what was happening. I know what happens in my communities. The type of mental level up and the nervous system reset that you have because of the depth of our conversation, the quote unquote intensity, it's incredible. It's life changing. It's transformative. And you're not going to get it anywhere else because there's only one of me. And so as you're listening to this, I want you to get present to the things that you believe. And are the things that you believe actually true? Or are they things that you developed over time because of commentary that you heard? Or is it a belief that you adopted from someone else? I promise you, this distinction is going to change your life. Because you have to know at the core of you who you are and who you belong to. I don't belong to any human entity. My parents, thank you so much for them. They were the vessel that brought me to the human realm. I don't belong to my parents. I don't belong to their beliefs. I don't have to live according to the way that they live. Whose I am of the Creator. I am of God. I am no thing and I am everything that God wants me to be. So if you don't approve, that's between you and you. If you don't like the way I show up, that's between you and you. That's something for you to deal with. That don't got nothing to do with me. Even when I think of things that irritate me about my man, about my daughter, about my parents, about my siblings, about my clients, if it irritates me, that's a me problem. That's not a them problem because they're perfect, whole, and complete as they are as well. So for me to judge them and be upset with them and to make them wrong, that only hurts me. And it only hurts my experience of them and my ability to be with them. And so I want you to truly get whose you are. Are you your parents? Do you belong to your parents? Do you belong to that teacher that made you feel like you weren't smart enough? Do you belong to that person who quote unquote broke your heart? Do you belong to the media and the negative things that they say about how people should look? And if you don't look perfect, and if you don't have the money, and if you don't have this, then you can't be all you want to be? Do you belong to those people? This conversation is so important to you being successful as you were designed to be successful. That business that you're dreaming of, the only reason it won't catch legs and start to take off is because you think you belong to those beliefs that no longer support you. And the moment that you knock those beliefs out of the way and remember, because it's all about remembering, you came here knowing. When you remember whose you are and the fact that that energy that created you, made you whole, perfect, and complete, and made you in the image of itself, ain't nothing another human being could say to you. There's nothing another human being could say to you, do to you. There's nothing. And this is truly why we are all here. To remember whose we are. Because when you remember whose you are, then you remember the power that you have. But if this foundational thought process isn't dug up and removed, you're going to keep hitting a wall. You're going to keep taking action, thinking, oh yeah, I'm making progress. And then you'll be like, why am I feeling like I'm still in the same place? Because you are still taking steps on a foundation that does not support the long-term goal. The places that God wants to take you, the version of you that God wants to reimagine you into, the life that you want for yourself that God also wants for you, but times 100, it's going to require you to remove all of those beliefs, the things that you thought you knew about yourself, the things you thought about what you knew you're capable of. It's going to take you removing those thoughts. the self-doubt, the trouble trusting that you know enough, you will never know it all. So to doubt yourself and not take action and not make strides because you don't think you know enough in a world where you will never know it all, you got to remember whose you are. I can tell you along this journey, I have always been provided with the tools to take a next step. Every single time. From growing up chubby and being teased, and then going through a period of my life where I would do anything for a boy. Not anything, because I was still a Scorpio rising here, okay? I'm gonna control you. I'm sorry. I can't. I'm sorry. I'm gonna control you, right? But there were times where I was willing to do things because I wanted that affection, that appreciation. I wanted to be liked. And it wasn't until, and I'm still in the journey of it, it wasn't until I decided it's time for me to have another version of my life. I want to have a child. I want to be in a long-term relationship. I want to go through all the growth. That required a level of confidence that I had not developed yet. I had developed the confidence where, yeah, you could come to my place, but you're not going to really be in my space. I had all the guys, all the attention, but I never really let them in because letting people in requires another level of confidence. And so when I got with my partner now, it was like, you know that feeling when you feel like you're at the bottom of another mountain? That's how it feels every time you're about to level up. You got all of these skills and all of this confidence, and then you're like, okay, new goal. And that new goal is going to remind you, baby, you don't know nothing. You know what you know, and it got you where you are. But to get to this next level, you don't know nothing about this next level. So you got to start at the bottom. But it's not like starting from zero. It's starting from the bottom with some experience. But the experience you got ain't going to get you where you want to be. So you got to be open and you got to surrender. And so being in this relationship, being where I'm at with my business now, being where I'm at with my health and well-being now, it's causing me to surrender. You're going to have to take a whole new approach, baby girl, if you want to make $100,000 a month. I'm sorry, everything you've done so far, it made you good money, but you trying to make $100,000 per month? Oh, that's going to require a whole new version of you. You're going to have to learn some new things. You're going to have to start again. Not from zero, because everything that you've learned so far is very valuable. But to get you where you want to go, you're going to have to start over. You're going to have to start from scratch. And I want you to be excited about it. Because when you are excited about learning something new, the learning something new is fun. The learning something new is expansive. The conditioning of belief that we had around learning something new is that it's hard. Learning something new is hard. Learning something new is going to take forever. Learning something new makes me feel like, or makes it seem that I'm not good enough. So you don't try the something new. And because you don't get a gold star every time you do something new, you don't want to do something new. I promise you, when you take a step back and you look at how we have been conditioned, every single one of us, you'll recognize how harmful that conditioning was. Because it makes you love the things that won't support you in expanding. And it makes you hate the things that will support you in expanding. So you love the instant gratification. Ooh, I love that I get a gold star real quick. I love that every time I post, I get a new follower. So when you don't get the new follower, you don't post. Ooh, coming for somebody. You don't go into the new relationship because, oh my God, I don't want somebody else to judge me. And then I have to expose myself to them. So you stay single and think, oh, I'm avoiding toxic situations. No, you're avoiding growth and transformation. The growth and transformation that's going to lead to that love and affection and appreciation for who you truly are. That's what you want. That's what we want in health. wealth, and relationships. We want to be loved and appreciated and seen for who we are and recognized for who we are. But you don't want to do the things that are required of you to be seen and appreciated and recognized and loved for who you are. So you play it safe because you've been conditioned to play it safe. I'm not mad at you. I want you to get this. I'm not mad at you because I've been there. I understand what it feels like. I understand the frustration around that. I also understand the comfort around that. I get it. I've also been conditioned. I'm also in my deconditioning. So I'm not speaking to you or sharing with you as someone that doesn't relate. But I also get how hurtful that is to yourself. When you are not trusting yourself, when you are not doing the hard thing, you are missing out. When you're not having the hard conversations, you're missing out. When you're not doing the hard thing, which may look like doing the same thing every day to have your nervous system at rest, you're missing out. When you're pricing your things too low because you're afraid of having the conversation when your thing is priced a little higher, what if that person says, well, what do I actually get for it? You avoid pricing your things at a level that actually gives you the life that you want. I want you to know when you don't do the hard things, when you're looking for the instant gratification, when you're afraid of the truth, the person that loses is you. And the people that miss out are the people that are meant to be transformed through you. I want to be clear that I said through you, not by you. Transformation happens through who you are being. The moment that I ask for more in my relationship, guess who has to be transformed to deliver that more? Yeah, the other person. When I price my communities, my offers, my whatever at a rate that causes you to have to do something different to be there and get that value, guess who's being transformed? But when you give it away for free, there's no transformation happening. And the truth of who you are and why you were created and the way that you are designed is to cause transformation. Anyone asking what is my purpose? I don't know your purpose is to transform. Be the thing that is missing in the world so that people can be transformed through you. That's it. Remind people whose they are by being an example of someone that knows whose they are. And baby, I speak confidently about this because I lived an entire life being teased. And you know what's so crazy? What's so crazy? When I went and I lost 100 pounds. Let's just say release. I released 100 pounds in a year. And then you know what the commentary was? Oh my God, how did you lose all that weight? You look so... It was still commentary about the same freaking thing. The commentary didn't stop. It was just commentary from a whole other angle. Why am I sharing that with you? Because you do not belong to people. People see as far as they see. They're going to comment as far as they could comment. But whose you are, oh, God already knows what you're capable of. Because you are His. Created in His image. So I can gain the weight, lose the weight, get a chisel ass body, become a trainer. I could do all of the things because I am created in the image of God. I can do all things through God who strengthens me. And so because I lived my entire life getting teased and recognized that even though you're getting teased, baby girl, you still getting everything that you want, I recognized that the things that people said about me, said to me, were all lies. And I want you to listen to this as your own story because someone told you that you were too much something as well. And you still persevered. You had to because you're here. You didn't die, did you? Did you die and come back? Because if you did, let's have a conversation about that offline. You didn't die. You were teased and you found a way to get over it. You were teased and you turned that energy into something else. You were teased and you became skilled in a whole new way. But there are still some beliefs around that situation that keep you small, around that commentary that keep you small. And so this is your opportunity to blast through those thoughts so you can step into the version of you that God created you to be, designed you to be, that deserves to get paid to exist without the business plan, without the college degree, without the three-piece suit, without already having $100 million in the bank account. You are meant to thrive. And the only thing between you and your thriving is that list of beliefs that do not apply. They don't apply. And this is why truth versus belief must be defined. You believe things because you think they're true, and you think they're true because you believe them. But are they the truth is the question. The truth is that you were created in the image of God, the almighty power, the limitless power, the abundant power, the power that makes anything and everything possible. That is the only truth. And anything else that you pile on top of it that makes it muddy, it's your responsibility to hose it down, wash it away, dig it up, remove it, so that you can operate based on your truth. I don't know who needed to hear this today. More than likely you. But this is the one and only thing that is getting in your way. Everything else on top of that, that's just a compound effect. That's it. Everything else that you think is blocking your blessings, that is a challenge, that's getting in the way, is just some well-versed alternative to what I just said to you. Oh, I doubt myself, or I never have enough time to put the systems in place to get paid to exist. I have a fear of rejection. I have a fear of being perceived. I don't have the time to actually calm down and allow myself to get paid to exist. All of that is just a whole lot of fluffy words around I don't know whose I am, and I need to be reminded. Because when you are clear on whose you are, we can look into the world. There's so many examples. People that look interesting as F. They wear the most interesting things. They do the most interesting things. And guess what? They are getting paid. I just thought about that girl from Canada who was like popping popcorn between a hair iron on TikTok Live getting paid hella money. Lil Nas X be dressed up in all of the craziest things. Lady Gaga. Like, think about people that are on the absurd side of things getting paid to be themselves. Why are you not included in that? The last thing I'll say that just came to mind before I open up the mic. There is a belief that if you are of God, you must look pure and be pure and do things in a certain way, and that is the best representation of God. I don't think God was like, this is right and this is wrong. God created, and then you have the ability to expand upon that. This is why money is not evil. This is why I've been hearing something lately that said, like, it's harder for rich men to get into heaven. And the reason why that is true is because rich men, meaning man and woman, the reason that is true is because when you have access to money, you have access to a lot of wild stuff. But before you have that money, you are who you are. So those who are pure of heart, those who are interested in bettering themselves and their environment and the people that they love, that is what they will do with their money. And those who are into the alternate, that is what they will do with their money. But the choice always is yours. And there is no one specific way of being or looking or showing up in order to fulfill your purpose. There is only your life experience that you took as a con that you're now able to see, whoa, there is so much pro in that. Let me utilize that. I want you to know that college and formal education and certifications, all of that was created in the capitalist society. Because guess what? Everything that you need to know, all the experience that you need to serve the people that you're meant to serve, to have the life that you're meant to live, you already had that experience. It was built into your life. I am confident and bold and certain in how I speak because of the life that I have lived. There is not a school that I have been to or a class that I have been to that made me who I am. There were things that I learned along the way that tweaked the way I speak, the way I read, the way I carry myself. But my life experience, because of the experiences that I had in my life, that is all the experience I need to speak the way I speak, to teach the way I teach, to show up the way I show up, because I've lived it. I've lived it. And so have you. So if you're listening to this and you're like, I don't know what my purpose is, I don't know what I'm supposed to monetize, I want you to breathe, first of all, wusa, represent yourself to whose you are, and then tap into that thing or things that have been constant in your life. More than likely, it was pointed out to you and you were pretty young and you were teased about it. And now throughout life, it still comes up as a little birdie in the back of your head saying something. Know that that was not an experience of yours to be a con, to hold you back, to hold you down. I want you to know that the reason you have experienced that is so that you can master it. And then you can then see it as a pro and utilize everything that you've learned along this journey to operate powerfully in spite of that too much, and teach somebody else that's where you are right now. That's where you were right now. You have more than enough to teach other people. You have more than enough experience, more than enough information, more than enough life wisdom. You have it within you. And you have to see yourself as having it in order for you to monetize it. That is how you get paid to exist. Remember whose you are. And remind yourself every day, every moment of every day, when there's that difficult conversation, when there's an anxiety or worry that's overcome you, when you're feeling overwhelmed, when you feel like you don't have enough time, when you feel like you don't have enough money, when you feel like you're not in the right place, ground yourself in whose you are. You were created in the image of whose you are. This worldly stuff, remember, God is going to come here and burn it all down anyways. You are not less than this physical environment. And that includes other human beings, because most human beings don't even remember that they are spiritual in a human experience. They think that they are their flesh. So your gift is knowing that you are a spiritual being of the great creator, a resource to the source. That is your gift. That is your superpower. That is also your purpose. When you operate as a reflection, as evidence of whose you are, you fulfill your purpose. You remind others whose they are as well. And that's the only reason for our being, except having a damn good time while we're here. So, on that note, I'm going to invite you, everyone on Twitter, because I did something new today. I also recorded for YouTube, so I'm going to post that later. But if you're here with me on Twitter, I would love for you to request the mic. You know that is my only request when you come into my space, is that you are also a contribution. You have a gift. You have something beautiful to offer, so I definitely want to hear from you. And I just want to say thank you. Most importantly, thank you for paying attention, right? Because paying attention is just as valuable as paying with your money. For all of you who are inquiring about getting paid to exist and having a business, I want you to get that. The people that pay attention are just as valuable as those that pay with their dollars. Okay, so I want to thank you for paying attention because that matters. You showing up for you matters. All right, so yay, Supermodel, welcome to the space. Let me know if... Oh, there you go. Awesome.
Hey, I don't know. Can you guys hear me? It kind of went silent for a while.
Yes, I can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, so I just wanted to say I'm so happy that I caught this recording because I just came from like this job. So I got fired from my job 3 months ago by my evil manager who I don't like, and I went to this job fair today thinking it was like, recruiters for jobs. And when I was there, I was like, this is not meant for me. And I have only had one passion my whole life, which is the fashion industry. I've always wanted to be a model, and I don't know why I stopped. But being there, I looked around me and I was like, this is not it. Like, sorry, it's echo. I'm in my bathroom, but I was like, this is not it for me. Like, this is not it. And I just felt to myself, I was like, I need to just kind of cry it out because I feel like I'm turning 25. The world isn't getting any better. I'm not where I want to be in life. And I'm like, what am I doing wrong? And you kept saying it's belief. And there was a time where I just stopped believing in myself. I was like, you know what, this is never going to work. It's never going to happen for me. And I've seen so many people, my friends, strangers, like turn their life into their dreams basically, and literally do everything they say that they were gonna do, even though it seemed impossible. And I'm like, well, why can't I do it? And it's because I didn't believe in myself. And now, from February till now, I feel this incredible, like, I finally feel like I believe in myself. And everything you just said is everything I went through today. And I'm like, this couldn't be more perfect timing. And I was watching my favorite show, Vampire Diaries, and I was like, no, Sarah speaking. I need to listen. Like, I was like, I know I have to listen to this, and I'm just so grateful. Like, as you were talking, there was like tears rolling down my eyes because it was just everything that I needed to hear, and I don't even know what to say. It's just like everything you said was just everything that I'm currently going through. So thank you.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Man. So many things I want to... First of all, I want to thank you for sharing. I think that is so important when you see what you are going through and your experience and your voice as valuable. Thank you. It is greatly appreciated because someone else needed to hear a powerful voice in this space today. So thank you for that. And secondly, oh man, what you said about looking at the people around you, your friends who have made their dream life a reality, and then you're questioning yourself, what's going on with me? What's wrong with me? I think that is so important. Sometimes it can seem like overwhelming when you have access to all these people's lives, but God made it that way on purpose. When you can see that other people are living good, it is confirmation that you can too. But when you're coming from a space of, it's not possible for me, or it's not my time, or they're so lucky and I'm not lucky like that, you want to avoid it. You want to minimize it. You want to run away from it. But God done made social media so it's in the palm of your hand now. You have no excuse to think that you are not ready, you are not worthy, you are not able, because look around you. People from the same neighborhood as you, people that grew up similar to you, people who look like you, people who don't look like you, they're living amazing lives. There is this persistent evidence of what is possible for you. So the question, and I am so grateful that you asked it, because I've asked that question as well, looking at people that I went to college with and them owning their own homes at the age of 30 or younger and having this much money invested. I've looked at them and questioned myself as well. And then I remembered all of our journeys are not going to be the same. There is a level of freedom that I am committed to that I'm just unwilling to work a job. I'm sorry. There are really close friends of mine that I went to business school with. We worked in New York City. We all had jobs in corporate. And I look at their lives. They own their own homes. Most, I think, just about all of them, I'm talking about 3 specific friends, they're all married. They have multiple kids. And they all still work in the matrix. And when I used to compare myself to them, thinking that I was less than, God, it was like God would slap me and be like, you do realize that you have the freedom that you want, right? The freedom that you want. The freedom to get up and go and be with whoever, wherever you want to be, whenever you want to be. You realize that you have that, right? Because that's your priority. You get to accept that the version of a good life that other people have is the version of a good life that they want. And then there's a version of a good life that you want. And the journey is not going to look the same. The journey is not going to look the same. And P.S., the grass isn't always greener over there. So focus on watering your grass. Hello, I'm speaking to you the same way that I spoke to myself. Because I truly believe, especially as a 4-line, that all of them friends that I'm visualizing right now, trust me, they about to be coming to your girl. Like, yo, can you teach me? Like, I have kids now. I don't want to work this corporate job no more. I want to move out the country. They about to be on my line. I promise you that. Because God gave me that vision. All of your friends, you're going to coach them one day. And the whole time when I had anxiety and I was like, oh, I'm not where I need to be, I was delaying what I'm supposed to walk into. And you know who else gets delayed in what they want? Them same friends who I love so much, they get delayed from what they want as well. Because there is a unique design on my life. There is a unique group of people that I am meant to serve. And when I don't step into the highest calling of me, they don't get that blessing either. They might buy guidance from somebody else, but they want it from me. The only reason you aren't getting paid to exist is because you're not offering something. You don't believe in yourself enough to offer something that will have you paid. That's the only reason you're not getting paid. That's it. But somebody else who ain't not nearly as cool or as passionate or as empathetic or as understanding, there's somebody who don't got none of that. They ain't nowhere near your level, but they out there making a grip, making a hell of a bag. A hell of a bag. So you got to remember whose you are. When you know whose you are, taking the actions that are necessary to support the dreams and thoughts and ideas in your head, it's a cakewalk. We focus so much on the strategy that we miss the importance of the energetic, the spirituality of it, the energetic connection of it. That's why everybody's selling you strategy, because they know you out of alignment. So I'm going to sell you this course, this ebook, this class. Come on this trip with me. But you ain't aligned, so you're going to buy it. And you're going to buy it knowing that thinking that you're going to get something from it, but because you're not aligned spiritually and mentally, guess what? You can't absorb it. You can't become it. You cannot build a skyscraper on some wooden legs. So people will sell you things because they know that your nervous system is not at rest to make the best choice for you. So they're not skilled. They can't deliver on it, but they're going to sell it to you anyways because they know, well, they're not even in their right mind. So I'm going to sell it to them and promise them all of this, but that's on them. Versus when you know whose you are, you move differently. You believe differently. You trust differently. You create differently. That is where the life of your dreams, not the life that you were told to have, the life of your dreams becomes your reality. And so, Supermodel, again, thank you so much for bringing that into this space, because I think we all can relate to comparing ourselves and thinking that, well, what am asking ourselves, what am I doing wrong? And that's the perfect question, because technically I'm no different than them. Whoever them is and whoever you're relating to, I'm no different. I'm also a human being. I'm also a spiritual being in a human existence. So beyond the education, all the human stuff, we're the same. So why is it that I'm not accomplishing what I need to accomplish? And you will quickly realize all successful people, they believe in a power greater than themselves, because there is no way that you are going to accomplish the levels of success that you want to and that are assigned to you without God. Like, it's not going to happen without God. Whether you're an athlete, a singer, a model, a teacher, a content creator, it don't matter what it is that you do. You have to be connected to God. That's the only way you're going to hit them peaks. The only way. And every successful person talks about it. Whether they meditate every day, exercise every day, journal every day, go for a walk, whatever they do to be connected to God, they will tell you, oh, I couldn't do this without it. I couldn't do this without my journaling, because I want to journal, I want to get in alignment. I couldn't do this without working out every day. I couldn't do this without meditating. I couldn't do this without reading my Bible. Whatever medium that they're into, successful people always talk about that connection first. Why? Because we are spiritual beings. Money is spiritual. Success is spiritual. Love and affinity is spiritual. The greatest health of your life is spiritual. It all starts there. It all starts with you remembering whose you are. It all starts there. So all this extra, I don't believe. I'm fearful of rejection. I'm fear of being perceived. Breathe and bring it home. Go ahead, Supermodel.
Thank you. I just last thing I wanted to say is, you were talking about like college and stuff, and I've never wanted to go. So in England, your college is our university. So I've never wanted to go, and I went out of fear, and I thought, okay, I'm just gonna do this as like a backup, have a degree in this just in case whatever doesn't work. And I left very quickly because I was in lockdown in the UK, so there was no point really. And I've been saying to myself, okay, I'm either gonna really go for my dreams, and if not, I'm gonna go back to school. But I've never wanted to go, and I feel like I'm really listening to the conditioning, like go to school, get a degree, do this, and it's not working. And it's not something that I want to do. It's out of it. My body is like, no, but I'm listening to my mind, and I'm scared. I'm like, well, I'm getting older. I need like, just follow the protocol, but it's not working. And I know people, and I don't want to be like a sheep, but I know people who have their degree, and they're like, I can't get a job. I don't know if you've been to London, but it's really, really hard out here. And you see everyone working just basic retail jobs, because it's really, really hard in London. It's really expensive, and there's no jobs. People going to school, they're getting their degree, and they're just like, well, I'm 34 now, and I'm here working at a cafe, Not saying that that's, everyone's life, but most people really are struggling. And I was like, am I going to follow this route that I clearly can see isn't working, or am I going to have faith in myself? And I don't know how it's going to work out because I'm a control freak. But I'm like, I need to have this faith, which I finally feel again because I finally let go of the past. Because I can't keep going back to the past, But I'm not that I'm scared, but you saying that was perfect. So I was like to myself, okay, so this doesn't work out. You're gonna go back to school and you're gonna do this and get a degree. And it's not working. I'm rambling right now. I'm sorry, but I'm just so happy that you mentioned college and school because it's like it's not working.
It's not working. It's not working. Yeah, one of the reasons why I had my elaborate plan to quit my job, and the reason why I was always bouncing around from job to job to job, was because it didn't feel natural. I gotta get up at what time in the morning and put on what clothes and take the train to go where and be on your job for how many hours to then come home and make how much money? What? This is not, no, nah, nah. And I didn't even necessarily have like, oh, I need to be making $300,000 a year. It just, in my body, did not feel aligned. What felt aligned was me having the freedom to get up when I wanted, work out for how long I wanted, journal, actually work with people who I actually know and can build relationships with. Like, that sounded fun to me. So even when there was months when I first became a realtor full time, then when I transitioned to being a coach, I wasn't making money off the bat, but the excitement to this day when I talk to you right now, I still feel that buzz in my body. It feels so good to be who I was designed to be, do what I am designed to have. And so I know like without a doubt that everything I dream of having is happening. It's already done. I know it. I never felt that way when I had a job. I just kept thinking about, well, who else do I gotta please so I can get to the next level, and then I can get a raise, and then I gotta keep doing this for how many years before I could get, what do you call it? What do they pay you, like Social Security, and I can retire? Like, ugh, that just sounded like the worst possible version of life. So this is why school doesn't feel natural. You gotta put your hand up to go to the bathroom? Bro, get me out of here. Not happening. My daughter is definitely not experiencing that. Not happening. What? Not happening. I don't want your gold sticker. I want to learn what I want to learn. I will learn what I want to learn for 8 hours straight. I don't need to go to school. But to be there learning stuff that I don't care about, to then only grow up and then learn that I'm working in a system that I don't want to work in because it was set up that way? Oh, no, thank you. No, thank you. Life is too short to do what somebody else wants you to do. Do what you want to do. Do what you were designed to do. That's really what's supposed to happen. So yes. Last thing I'm gonna say. Last thing I'm gonna say, Nia. Or I keep saying nice, Naya. Last thing I'm gonna share is this, right? The whole like it's hard out here, whether you're in London, New York, wherever you are. The whole idea of it's hard out here or there are no jobs aligns with God's idea for us that we're self-sustainable. You do not need a job. You already went through the life experience to prepare you to make as much money as you will ever make. This is why it occurs like I keep applying and nobody's hiring me, or there's no jobs, or jobs aren't paying enough. That's literally built in. God has it set up that way so that you finally take a look in the mirror and say, let me bet on myself. If it's this hard out here on somebody else's dime, let me bet on myself and see how it turns out. Alrighty.
I just want to say um, to the speaker before me, if your body's telling you not to go back to school, don't do it. Because I was in that same predicament, and I'm not going back to school. Just like Sarah said, working to get what to your 65 for SSI or retirement check. That's going to no longer be a thing. It's not a thing anymore. There's no SSI. There is no retirement stock. It is time to bet on yourself, however that looks like for you. I think a lot of people are confused at what does that look like. But we have so many transferable skills. We've learned so much throughout our lives. There's so much to do. There are tons of things that people are going to need. I just think that, like Sarah was saying, it's people are scared. They don't know what it looks like to bet on themselves. They don't know if they can trust to bet on themselves. And it is so crazy to say that you can't trust to bet on yourself, but you can trust what? You can trust the government? Are we serious right now? We can't do that anymore. And this is not even to fearmonger. We just can't do that anymore. They're not gonna exist after however many years. Put a number on it. Who cares? It's time for people to invest stock in the people around them. People have valuable skills. Maybe you see a skill in somebody that they don't know they have, and maybe they can show you a skill in yourself that you don't know you have. This was a good space. Everything that was said was very much needed. I love that you say believe whose you belong to, because yeah, nothing can happen without the power of Christ at all, ever. However you call him, whatever you call them, nothing can happen without it. That's all I wanted to say. Just if your body's telling you don't go back to school, don't. Because there's so many other ways to get to where you need to be. There are so many other ways. Like, just do the research. I know that's sometimes hard and annoying, and maybe you feel like the information isn't
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I get you. I think you're probably out walking, but I really want to just add a little bit to what you said in terms of whatever you call God, Christ, Buddha, Allah, whoever it is for you, understand that the principle is the same. There is a higher, more capable, more abundant energy at play here. Why would you want to do it alone anyways? This is why I created this community and I continue to create communities because doing it alone is not fun. Like, if my friends can't get none, I don't want to go. If I'm gonna be rich as hell, rich as heaven, rich as ever, and my friends ain't rich too, that's not fun. Like, I want us all to be out here living it up, enjoying the best life that life has to offer. I don't want to be the one person at the top. Like, look at y'all. Y'all don't know how to get it. Like, that is so whack. Janae, my love.
Hello. I just want to touch on you saying like when you're not doing the hard things, you're missing out because that's been pretty big this year. And the hard things for me have been like taking risks, making myself more seen, making my voice heard. I'm very used to like doing things by myself and being in my own shell and being like the background character even in my own life. Um, and it's like when I look back and reflect, it's like where has that gotten me? Like it's like you said, it's not fun doing things by yourself and trying to transform into transition into like a higher way of living than doing that by yourself because it's like I'm not honoring the like transforming in the way that I like to transform. And I've recognized that if I didn't take the risk and listen to my body within like work and everything, the alternative was to work for 3 more months and then see where that gets me and then like chill for a little bit and then but then I look back and I'm like that has not worked. Like I would just be in the same cycle repeatedly, like, and then I have to recover from burnout and then like I'm just like I'm really glad I listened to my body and have taken the risks that I have because yeah, you're gonna miss out if you don't do the things that are hard for you.
Yep.
And yeah, taking risk have been. I recognize that it's not something I'm really used to. and just like trusting myself and my decisions as someone who I feel like I realized that I listen to a lot of people's opinions and like let them decide what's best for me. It's like I'm actively learning how to trust myself.
Yes.
So within this process, I'm just like I'm happy that I've taken all the risks that I have this year because I'm just like I'm putting myself in positions to be recognized for the gifts that I have and the gifts that I didn't fully recognize were so valuable. So yeah, I'm happy that like I'm
Woo.
yeah, just stepping out of my comfort zone because it's like that is super super important because my body was like even my body was screaming at me like do not go to that job. Don't like you do not want this. So and it's like the limiting beliefs is like thinking that like this has to be our life. Like
Yes.
you just see so many people on TikTok just like doing the things that they want to do, like being like whatever like there's people on TikTok making like prank calls and having millions of followers. Like if that's what you can do, you can literally do anything and people are going to enjoy it and follow it and just because it's like the thing that you're enjoying. So yeah, I'm happy with like the just this realization and getting a little more comfortable with like taking risk and betting on myself because it's not something that I am used to doing in the past.
Thank you so much, Janae. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Two things. Every time that you referenced your body, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the reminder that we are meant to feel our way through life. Not think, not overthink, not be worried, not have anxiety. Feel your way through life. And if you're listening to this and feeling your way through life does not feel natural, does not feel safe, there's an opportunity for you to check in and be like, well, what can I do to shift this so that I do feel safe, that I'm making the right decision for myself, that I can trust myself? That is extremely important in manifesting anything. Like eating the right food has to feel safe. Eating fried chicken and thinking this fried chicken is not gonna mess me up, I'm gonna be good, it's not gonna get me off of my goals, that has to feel safe. Leaving that job has to feel safe in your body. Serving other people has to feel safe in your body. Making hella money has to feel safe in your body. Posting online has to feel safe in your body. If your body does not feel safe, the response or the reaction or the result is going to mirror you feeling unsafe. That's the simplest way to put it. So thank you. Thank you for that reminder. Thank you for that, like, in my opinion, encouragement to everyone to focus on that. Make that your priority, whatever that has to be, whatever your mode of getting there is, make that a priority. And secondly, when you said that people are going to enjoy what you're doing because you are enjoying it, come on now. Everyone's like, well, I don't know what to monetize. Whatever you enjoy doing. There is a beaming energy that just comes from you when you are in a mode of enjoyment. Why do you think you're here? I'm not a boring speaker. I'm not boring. I'm not going to hide shit. I'm going to give you all the tea. I'm going to tell my personal stories. I'm going to be sassy with it. You have fun when you come here. You have fun. You learn something. You transform. You go about your day. That's enjoyable. It's enjoyable because I enjoy it. I enjoy being with people. I enjoy being recognized for the value that I have to add. So it's going to be a good time. And that lives for anything. There's somebody that I don't watch him religiously, but this guy that makes tea on TikTok. I saw him on Twitter the other day, and I went and watched some of his videos. I was like, yo, this is so enjoyable. Like watching him make fresh pressed tea, that's his thing. And he enjoys it. So I enjoy it. Jade enjoys teaching. Jade enjoys making things. So when she hosts her live stream and she has her Patreon, I enjoy being in there because she enjoys it. There's this business guy that I listen to on YouTube every single day. I just bought his book, Myron Golden. He enjoys teaching about business. So when you're with him, you enjoy learning from him because his energy is freaking, it's magnetic. I want you to get in that statement that when you share what you enjoy, other people enjoy it too. They may not have an interest, they may not have ever thought they would like that thing, but your energy, it is so electric that they want some of it. Where you get paid is when you show up electric like that to the people who share the same interests, values, passions as you. This is why it's so important to show up, because you may have 100,000 followers, but 10,000 of those are your people. Anything you put out, they giving you their credit card because they share the same interests as you. But if you don't put yourself out there and allow yourself to gain a following, which then allows you to gain customers because a percentage of are actually people that are here to grow with you. Some people are just here to like you. They want to cheer you on. They want to support you in that manner. But there are people who actually want to grow with you. I promise you they're going to take their credit card out. But you got to share what you enjoy. You got to show up showing us what you like to do. That is how you get paid to exist. You're existing. You're doing the thing you love to do anyways. So when you share it, we get to love that energy, be magnetized to that energy, want some of that energy. And the reciprocal of that, because we want to be in reciprocity type relationships, even with our followers, that's them liking, that's them saving, that's them forwarding, that's them saying, how can I work with you? That's them buying something off of Amazon because you recommended it, affiliate marketing. That's them talking about you in rooms where you in Canada and they talking about you in South Africa because this person loves your content and what you stand for and what you talk about so much. Next thing, look, they emailing you. So we're having a conference for our company. We would love for you to come and speak about what you are passionate about because you be lit up. And one of our employees, she follows you and she brought us to your attention and we like what you do too. That's how the invitations come. Because that's how God made this earth. Energetically. Your energy can be in so many places at once. You physically, I'm sitting on my couch right now in Virginia. That's where I'm at physically. But I'm also with you where you are. In Texas, in DC, in the UK. I'm also where you are. Because energy can be any and everywhere. But you still trying to get $1 by exchanging your physical energy. Come on now. We got to elevate out of that. You got to elevate out of that conditioning. You got to elevate out of that conditioning. You are not of the physical world. You are existing in it. You are a spiritual being in a human experience. Your spiritual energy can be anywhere. Your magnetism can be anywhere. I hope you're getting what I'm putting down right now. Scooping it up, taking a note, putting it in your pocket, making a clip, whatever you got to do. When you are clear on whose you are, all this other stuff that we be over here overthinking comes so easy to you. When you remember whose you are. I love that we get to say remember, because you don't got to create whose you are. You don't got to build it from scratch. You simply got to remember. When you remember and remind yourself every single moment of every day whose you are, you can be, do, and have anything. Getting paid to exist is small change. Small change. Getting to live as the truth of whose you are, oh, that's everything. That's true fulfillment. That's the difference between people who getting paid hella money and can't stand their lives, and the person who's making hella money and they are so satisfied, they are so grounded, they are so at peace because they know whose they are. I truly hope that today blessed you. I hope you got everything that you needed to step forth powerfully, completely, boldly, beautifully, abundantly, confidently, purposefully, rich as fuck. I hope you got everything you need to take that next step, to pivot, to shift, to walk in your truth. Because you doing that is all the inspiration that anybody else needs. When you walk in your truth, operating as whose you are, being who you were designed to be, doing what you were designed to do, you will have everything that you were designed to have, and simultaneously, you will also fulfill your purpose. I love you. Thank you for being here, and we'll talk again soon.